was born.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, one of my favorite
really
ones.
beautiful.
That composure was actually beautiful by, and I just think like my father used to play the piano and we'd sing that song.
Yeah.
And just around the piano when we were growing up, and that was one of the favorite ones that he would play. It was really great. So, a Merry Christmas once again to everybody. We're getting into the season proper. Compliments of the season to everybody. It's been a year where we sometimes get through hobbling, but we can take a little moment to be grateful and just, hope that as we get into the end of it, that the next coming days promise, kind of, even if it's a better tomorrow, a better few moments, that you can always live in that moment. Sawa sawa.
Yeah.
Apandu tuko. What's our final proverb?
Our proverb today actually comes from one of the listeners. Yeah, he's always been dropping these gems, right?
Yeah.
So this one will come from one Mr. Carrier, and he's listening from Mombasa, and he says, "Whoever stops his brother from becoming a king also stops himself from having a king as a brother."
Wow.
Yep.
If you're going to put somebody down, a part of you remains down as well.
Always.
So think about it like that.
Yeah.
That we can do everything that we can to insist that we are in a position of lifting up, no matter what the case may be. I love that.
Yeah.
That, you're involved in keeping somebody down, you also remain down. So we can do, I think that's the motto, that we can do better. Always.
I mean, it's so beautiful because think about it. If your brother becomes a king, you become the king's brother, and everything good that comes with it, you are part of it. But if you stop him from achieving the highest recognition or accolades that would come with him getting that, you equally just take it away from you. So it is not a question of you've stopped him, but you have stopped yourself from enjoying the good tidings that life has to offer. So that speaks in terms of when you see someone winning, be part of that process, give them the support that they need, because at the end of the day, if they succeed, you equally succeed.
Absolutely.
It actually speaks, wow. The way people keep speaking in terms of like people are paying black tax and whatnot.
Yeah.
Remember, if your parents have taken you through all the struggles to see you where you are, they have supported you so that you become the best version of yourself and you start winning. And if that means you taking care of them, it is because they celebrate you and they are part of the process, man.
Yep.
Unitamu. Carry, well done.
Kabisa.
Carry 86, well done.
Kabisa. That's a great one, actually, to then be able to look into that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And at this point, we can say good morning to everybody who's tuned in today. Our audience on KTN, good morning and welcome as we get into these conversations. Our live streams are up on YouTube, Facebook, and on X. And also to everybody who tunes in quietly as you're getting where you're going and listening to conversations. So thank you so much for being here and doing this with us. Let's say a very good morning to you, where we can see your comments today and where you're tuned in from. Of course, Peter Carey, good morning. And good morning to Robert Mbogo, tuned in from Mombasa. Good morning from Rongo and have a good Friday, says Georgia Dimo. Desmond Uti says, good morning, Nya Nigeria. Oko Achieng Bas. Names have increased.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Girl from Nigeria.
Bas.
Yeah.
And mom's son, Dennis. Are you a mama's boy? You seem like to be a daddy's boy.
I can't. I'm just my parents' child, man.
Yeah.
I speak a lot about
Your
my
dad.
I speak a lot about my mom as well. So I love those people. I love them pretty much.
Mr. Limiwa na Desmond.
Mr. Salimika Desmond, but he's...
How is EVE and Nyamwe? Niseme. Nyamwe uko wapi?
Nyamwe.
Good evening. Not even good morning. Good evening. The death sequence in the system can tell you that some people don't like the truth. Well, that's for sure. Kisa Daniel says, good morning, Singaporeans. Aki watu wa Singapore, what a jam. Rahim Tula Omar says, good morning from Preston in the UK. The housing project, housing phase 2 was launched yesterday in the night, in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay, not in the night, in the evening.
The evening, yeah.
Yeah. So that was launched, Mukuru 2
was
launched yesterday. Everybody was in tow.
There were fireworks. Fireworks can only be experienced at night, so...
Oh,
explains why.
Oh, right.
Can you imagine having crazy fireworks during the day?
Nani anaona. Oh,
That's more to piggy between pomp and the color and fireworks.
Okay.
You will see fireworks.
Oh, touch up. We need to celebrate your birthday.
I think we should revisit and go back to everybody who had those keys. And just
Kama bado wako.
Kama wako ndani, yeah.
That's a very good thing that I think is necessary to do.
Yeah.
Tunaona mali unaenda.
I think now the thing is, if everyone now who was in that slum, right, has moved into these houses, then let's see the government then moving in and getting rid of the slum that people have evicted and put up more houses.
Yep.
That then would... Nasema tu.
Sawa. Okay. Jennifer Etenyi, good morning. Happy holiday, Spice family. Happy birthday to us Capricorns. And on Monday, I'm turning 40-something. I am off the off-grid. Journey mercies to us. Oh, you're going to travel and you're turning 40-something on Monday. My dear, happy birthday. Will you be listening? Where are we? Okay, you're not telling us where you'll be. It's okay. But we wish you a happy birthday. And you December babies, you're not letting us rest. But don't worry, we're going to do something about that.
Yo, we've waited 11 months. What do you expect?
Sawa basi.
Y'all have celebrated your time. We are here.
We've waited 11 months.
11 months.
Sawa.
Yo.
Happy holiday, Spice. We see you. Good morning, Ndu and Dennis. Good morning, Leo. In Sick and Poor, it's where one day those in power are chest thumping about how, due to their policies, we have bumper harvest. The next day is how we have a drought. So there is a drought happening, and we're likely to see that in at least 9 counties coming into January, food rationing is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a thing. And we're already seeing that some of those rations are getting to people today. It's the reality of our times. Then anybody also knows that with climate, one harsh season follows another.
Yeah.
Or one extreme follows another. That's just how the cycle goes.
And you know, the sad reality of it all is what? Even the counties that are experiencing extreme drought predominantly are farmers. That means their land can't produce. So one would then ask the question, if we know the patterns that climate change will bring to us and all the catastrophes that would follow, what are we doing in terms of irrigation? Because we know we cannot depend on rain-fed agriculture.
Isn't that a question?
Now, Lisa too.
Antonina Kehika says the refreshing you have to do before you get to the live stream. Nini Mbaya. My princess, good morning, everyone. Can someone check for us whether those houses in Mukuru are still occupied? That's a question. We also went into that this morning as well. Mashari Anjeru says, good morning, Nju and Aseto, watching from Portland in Oregon. The office of the president spent billions and the president is never in that office. Isn't it such a mystery? Somebody eating, but the guy ain't there.
Yeah.
Bwangi Juma says, good morning, Spice FM. How are you all this blessed Friday? Do media firms, do what to them? Has anyone found out if Githinji is a real driver or Climax bus company? Okay, I don't understand, but okay. Erica War says, good morning, guys. We need trams in Nairobi like Lisbon in Portugal. Christina, good morning. Yesterday's GBV conversation made me realize I haven't healed. Sister, I was actually going to reach out to you yesterday because these are some of the conversations that you can't stop talking about it, but there's something cathartic about speaking that you must continue.
Yeah.
Even if you feel it's a bad day today, it's okay.
It's okay. I mean, Christina, don't be in a hurry. For you know, it's a process.
Absolutely.
Go through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't have to. There's no race where everybody's getting a medal at the end of the thing and saying, "Yeah, I've healed, and here's your what." No. If you need to take some, you do. You do
run
that.
a race.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you will be better every day. Okay. Bernard says, good morning. We have a cultural festival all over, and the president has attended all of them. There's one in Turkana, there was one in Migori, I don't know, there was another one in Samburu just the other day. Yeah. It's, countrywide menus.
Yeah.
Arthur,
bridging the gap.
Exactly. We're bridging it kabisa. Arthur Owino says, good morning, Aseto and Ndu. Christmas kweli imefika kabisa. We wish you happy holidays and a New Year's. Happy New Year, says Amayo Okeyo. Good morning, Spice FM. Happy holidays, and to you too. Jakota says, good morning. Prince Ndu, Dennis and EVE, Kenya yetu. So Jirongo just had an accident with a bus and no passenger can account for the incident. Swali number one, big. Carol Nyambura, good morning, everybody. Now, Apenda Sana, wishing you a blessed day ahead and happy holidays. Thank you so much. Robert Miner says, good morning, Ndwana said to love from Doha. Mary, Singapore. I swear you Kenyans are just too creative.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. Jingle bells, indeed. Jingle all the way. Linda Gola, good morning. I love that song too. Absolutely one of my favorites. Ashley Carey, thank you so much. Asanteni Sana. Tula Omar released a single. I promised that by March 2026. I've promised and I've put it out publicly. Cindy, I'll do it. I promise. Good morning, my favorite Ndu Anaseto. Good morning to you. My weekly dose, Asante Sana, thank you so much. And Kareme, good morning. Ayenda Derek is also saying a very good morning from Nakuru. God is good, kabisa. Jackie Gitonga says, good morning from Mombasa by Manu and Macarius. Good morning to you. Beja says, the Situation Room getting better and best. Good morning to you, Ambassador. Emily Osena said, good morning. The journey to Singapore has begun. Query?
So what walipata nyumba jana? Walishafika?
Oh, okay.
Because one thing
okay.
One thing that Singapore did as well was invest in affordable housing. You know? Yeah, in housing. I don't know if it was affordable, but they invested in housing as well, and the people contributed towards that. So perhaps we are starting to see the fruits of the Singapore dream. All right.
Yeah. That's how I will go with that. I can sense a festival in the offing. In the offing of what? Dio Combo says, good morning. All the way to answer black tax topic. She doesn't agree with it. Which one? What did I say? Tuning from Korogosho, this is where current graduates live. Someone tell me that's what's to celebrate. The gully side of life. Liza, you have a point there. Thomas Omosa says, incoming MCA Mount View Ward 2027. Wish you all the best. Kabisa, good morning to you. Millie Simi says, good morning from Nacho Kiambu County. Cecilia Ongwenyi says, good morning. Kabisa, oh holy night. Matthew Mushemi says, good morning. Journey to Singapore begins this morning. Oh, it's today. So you guys decide one. Was it yesterday? Is it today? Tell us so we pack our bags. Or whatever. Good morning, Wakenya Water and beyond. Wishing you blessed and happy holidays. Let's keep the Situation Room on come 2026. Thank you so much, Ras. Good to have you guys all here this morning as we get into it. After all, it is Christmas, so, joy to the world and all those good things. Thanks for tuning in every morning as you do, guys. And let's take a look into the headlines today. Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard, talks about State House largesse. Okay. We're talking about people who don't have what to spend. Following last year's Gen Z pressure, President William Ruto announced new austerity measures on July 5th to cool public anger. He suspended plans to hire chief administrative secretaries, cut the number of advisors, scrapped budget lines for the offices of the First Lady, the Deputy President's spouse, and the Prime Cabinet Secretary's spouse, and pledged to end confidential budgets in executive offices while auditing public debt. A year on, the Controller of Budget reports a different picture. State House alone spent 4.5 billion shillings in just 3 months, July to September, the first quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year. There you have it. 4.5 billion. Nice. Just 3 months.
Senior life.
Okay.
What else do we say?
Since not after 10 billion, they wanted to end the shule January.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. What is the expenditure that we're talking about? Total spending, 1.04 billion shillings from the Executive Office of the President. Salaries came to 463.21 million shillings. Domestic travel at 49.93 million. Foreign travel at 8.34 million shillings. Hospitality,
Mandas.
And Jewish. 40.43 million shillings. Fuel, 12.35 million shillings. Other expenses, atujui others ni nini.
Hapo ndio kuna store.
It's the highest amount.
Yeah.
It's the highest amount after salaries. 275.3 million shillings. Others.
So others, okay, let's think.
It can't be hospitality because mtu akikuja kwako unampatia pilau.
China mandasi.
Hiyo ni hospitality iko. Sasa hizi others.
So others would be mowing the lawn.
But that one, see, you pay a gardener. Or maybe but fuel for the lawn mower is different from the fuel for the Prado.
So there is,
it's different fuel. Okay.
So there is also
shopping.
There is shopping.
Nyanya na kitunguu for the State House.
Yeah. There is maintenance of CCTV cameras.
Bas.
Like
if something breaks, like a glass breaks, your hospitality.
Also buying supplies, like we have to clean State House, so
or
the
more
liquid detergent.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. Like
207.
toothbrush. That is in shopping. Toothbrush, toothpaste, sabuni ya kuoga na ya kufua.
You're seeing it, okay.
Sioni hapa, mimi nasema tu kwa others. Others.
Okay.
You need to buy, what do you call it? Insecticide, kuna mbu.
Okay. Labda also shopping, we buy milk. Sasa wewe unataka yogurt, ndio inakuja kwa others.
Sasa you see now when you're talking about, so there is catering, right? Chai na mandas, right? But now there is buying chai. Kuna kununua unga, and then there is the baker.
The butcher, the candlestick maker, those guys.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, sawa.
Kuna boots, viatu mpya, red bottoms, at least every 3 months.
Na kama mtoto anataka kuenda kucheza birthday party na rafiki zake.
Yeah.
All right.
Tunataka kuhaya KICC, kulonge matatu, nini, you know.
Okay, yeah, okay. Hiyo inakuja kwa others. That was just the executive office of the president. Sasa tunaenda State House. Hizo zote was the executive office of the president.
Office, yeah.
Now we're going to State House.
Sawa, twende.
All right? Now, by the way, this is not us saying. This is the controller of budget. Is the one who's telling us this is the money that was spent. Salaries, 689.83 million shillings. Domestic travel, 292.7 million shillings. Foreign travel, 146.5 million shillings. Hospitality, you thought State Executive Office of the President hospitality was something. Watch I show you. 199.2 million shillings. Fuel, oil, and lubricants. Lubricants Niagari, Tafadhali, 98.5 million shillings. Routine motor vehicle maintenance, 277.19 million shillings. Insurance, 109.4 million. Utilities, 81 million. Rentals of produced assets, 91.4 million. You know, just making things. What is that? Rentals of produced assets. Other expenses. Chukuname,
indeed. I was waiting for that chukuname.
Others in the State House is hey, wait, my eye is not seeing. Wait. Sorry, I have to wear my glass.
Not in the millions, but billions.
3.1 billion shillings. Others. Is it not the same guy in the office of the executive office of the president and the State House? I'm just
It's the same.
asking,
It's the same, yeah. But Ndu,
yeah.
Let's also look at the others.
Others nigani, but you know there's also rentals of produced assets. Have you ever had something like that in your life?
That I will not lie to you. I don't know, what does State House produce? Produce a rental asset. I don't know. Are there people who rent houses around there to say you're producing?
Oh, they're building a church. Oh no, but the president said that's his money.
Yeah, that's his money. No, but let's go to others. See, empowerment happened. You remember the 500 motorcycles and all those? And then every time there is an event, you're hiring
Unaleta teachers, and then
teachers 10,000.
Then chiefs came to
Unajua, and then
State House.
when also legislators come to ask for development. Kapish?
Barabara
unataka itengenezwe.
Fair.
Tutaona hii maneno.
All right. Umeona. Hii Santa Claus cap unafaa kuvaa kila siku.
I should.
Yes. Hey. Then we go to the office of the Deputy President. Okay. Deputy President, salaries, 230.86 million shillings. Domestic travel, 42.12 million. Foreign travel, 1.27 million. Wait until you hear. Hospitality, 44.45 million. Fuel, oil, and lubricants. What if they're going together? Like ile siku ambaye sasa, it's the people from the office of the deputy president and the office of the president. Kama wanasafiri pamoja, but the budget is split.
Hawezi nini pamoja.
Oh, so you can't put both of them.
You come with your budget too.
Motor vehicle maintenance, 25.87 million shillings. Other expenses, unajua hapo kwa others, 13.79 million. Total spent, 425.8 million. Top spending ministries. Can I shock you?
Can we shake hands? Please, let's shake hands. Because the top spender that we are seeing there is the one that never releases.
It's not possible that the top spender in ministries bado tunawadai pesa ya 2020 over what? Do you know how much the Ministry of Education has spent? 68 billion. Now this is my problem. They have spent this money.
Yes.
By the time it's coming to the COB's report, this money has been spent. Lakini capitation hujatuma, in my opinion, one of the most important things you've not sent. Sasa your pesa.
What have you spent the 68 billion on?
And in this country, there are classrooms where there are 110 students in a class.
Yeah. When GSS teachers are already saying we're downing tools because you've not stuck to the agreement.
You didn't build new classrooms because you insisted that you didn't build new schools. You didn't build new classrooms because you insisted that junior school students remain in primary school. So they stayed there.
Yeah.
Okay, so these 68 billion, very interesting. Defense, which is a gate, okay. By the way, these ministries that we see here, these are gates. These are what we call gates. They are ways through. So education, one of them. Defense, another, spent 48.9 billion. Health, 21.1 billion. Roads and transport, 18 billion. Aki tunaomba katika jina la Yesu. Hii enterprise roads, gawe tu 1.5 million. Tengeneza tu barabara. Just finish once and for all. Labour and social protection, 16.5 billion shillings. National Treasury spent 15 billion. Sawa, that's what we are talking about. That's what we are looking at. Sijui kama hii pesa iko na risiti, but yeah. So the CAB has released this just before Christmas and just left it there for you. So that's what it looks like. We took a minute with that one, but it's very interesting. The DPP now has directed the DCI to probe singer Betty Bayo's death because the family has come forward and they said, there's a rat and it's smelling here. We don't like it. Ancient stone wall steals the show at the Pinluo Festival, which took place this week. It's a pretty thing, actually. Quite beautiful. The court has lifted ban on Mary Stopes' abortion adverts. You guys, you know what now? They'll be able to say, come and have a visit with us if you feel like you need to terminate your pregnancy.
Yeah.
The court has now said, it's okay, let them advertise. But that's interesting because is abortion still illegal in Kenya?
That's a question.
Just asking.
Yeah, because then again, for one to procure an abortion in the country, it has to be sanctioned by the doctor, having seen the threat there is to the mother.
Yeah. There's that story of Justice Ibrahim Muhammad, who was laid to rest yesterday. Former Chief Justice David Maraga yesterday was there, paid tribute to him. And also we saw Supreme Court judges. Their prayers were held in South Sea, and then he was laid to rest at the Muslim cemetery in Kariokor. And that happened according to the Islamic rites. CBE transition, how students will be placed in senior school. Today is Friday, Abby. We're supposed to now start seeing the first
cohort.
Placements. Those ones are supposed to come out today. Or is it? Today's Friday.
Today's Friday.
Yeah. Court halts 6.2 billion shilling NYS payouts to Ben Givy and Associates. Ngoja kwanza. Hii pesa iko na comma, so we're not going to hand it to you just yet. All right? Teachers and TSC are fighting. Somebody needs to sit in the naughty corner, that's for sure. It's kind of what it looks like in the Standard today. And, of course, we're going to keep looking at those stories. AFCON is coming, guys. The Africa Cup of Nations is coming soon. It's going to be an interesting tournament. And it goes in from the 21st of December through to the 18th of January. So it looks like it's going to be a footballing Christmas.
Yep.
It'll be fun to watch. Over to you, sir.
Let's go to the Daily Nation and 5 billion shillings industrial parks scandal. You remember when you were launching all these EPZs all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be having hundreds of youths working in those industrial parks. I ask those responsible to act because this is the real Singapore. My idea was to industrialize the counties, but the vision was totally lost. Who are we talking? Who's saying this? Former Trade CS Moses Kuria. And we also have there President William Ruto's administration sold the building of 23 billion shillings industrial parks as a magic wand to create jobs. Now, 3 years later, with 5 billion shillings gobbled up, white elephants are strewn across the country and an extra 4.4 billion shillings will be pumped in this year. So we have white elephants, we have projects that were started in all these industrial parks that were launched across the country. And question is, what are they doing? Do we have industries that are producing? Or was this just another promise that have been left there with nothing going on? Yeah.
Question.
Inside senior school administration criteria now, it's D-Day for the over 1 million candidates who sat the inaugural Kenya Junior Secondary School assessment. Standard scores will inform placement to a pathway with a learner requiring a minimum score of 20 to qualify for the STEM and 25 for their social sciences or sports. We wait to see how that will happen today. It is a big ticket item, especially in the education calendar.
Yep.
And we have the send-off for top judge who dodged judiciary purge, scored a first. Supreme Court Judge Mohammed Ibrahim, who died Wednesday, was buried at Nairobi's Kariokor Muslim Cemetery yesterday, ending a long legal career. Now, the worst counties to do business with have been named. That is in page 10. We shall be looking which counties are these. And the forgotten victims of the deadly Mai Mahi floods relieve the pain. Now, it is 20 months on, and survivors of the disaster that killed more than 60 people lament about broken promises. What usually happens after all these promises have been given and not kept? Do you go back kusema ahadi ni deni, ama unajipanga and you move on?
Do you really think that the time those promises are being made during an event and somebody goes home at night that they still remember what they said during the day?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're planning for another meeting tomorrow morning.
Yep.
That's usually what happens. And Ruto's pledges to minority groups. Now, policy focuses on inclusion, including the creation of Minorities and Marginalized Communities Directorate. At the center of all this is always issues to do with land. So now question is, when the minority groups say, this is our land, our property, you need to ensure that it is protected. What is the government doing or saying about that? Especially when you talk about areas like the Mau that belongs to the Ogiek, who said this is our land, we've always taken care of it. But you look at what Mau then, how the country benefits from Mao, and then asks the question, how do we have national interest while protecting the rights of the minority groups? The land question is always big when you talk about that.
Yeah.
And so UN lecturers demand transparency in VC recruitment. One thing that has always been a problem in University of Nairobi is always choosing the next VC. It is always a problem.
Yeah.
Hapo wa iko shida. And Duale, we will crack down on doctors over SHA claims. Ndio hiyo. Healthcare in the country always a problem, but SHA will no longer pay claims from private facilities filed by doctors in public service. SHA will no longer pay claims from private facilities filed by doctors in public service.
So the thing is that there's some doctors who work, they'll do their rounds at
Yes.
a level 3, 4, 5, 6. But then they have a private clinic where somebody might come and then use your SHA card, and then you're going to claim later with your private. So you have Dr. Dennis Aseto's clinic at the plaza, but then you also go to KNH and you do your rounds, whereby you then cash a check from government. So now from your clinic as well, what he's saying is, now we're not going to do that. Stay on one side, essentially. Okay. I don't know that that's fair, but okay.
Let's see how that goes. Yeah, so report flags 131 billion shillings unaccounted for by county governments. 131 billion. Hey, the control of budget is dropping gems, I'm telling you. So by the time you're going for the holidays, let's just know that there's a lot of information you've been given, and as your legislators or your leaders come to you, you have a lot of questions to ask. Let's look at the Star.
All right, on the front page of the Star, because I really want to come back and look at that Mary Stopes story. But really quickly, the Star this morning has named the Person of the Year 2025, and the Star has posthumously named Raila Odinga its Person of the Year 2025 for profoundly shaping Kenya. We know that the Star does this yearly, and this is who has been named. Benefiting? I guess there's no question. Nairobi gave him success. Now he's giving his fortune. The story of Pankaj Shah, a tourism business feeding school children in the slums, does this. It's a great story. Regardless of the vehicle or the intent, the end result is that children are being fed. I love it. Gisharu, from high school DJ to founding Mount Kenya University. And so that's what we look at with that particular story coming in on the headlines of the Star. Relief as project steps up a fight against sickle cell, one of the most debilitating diseases, conditions for many that you don't really get over it. Why 2025 will be remembered as the year 2027 race truly started. That's another story carried in the transformative pages of the Star today. So just looking at, I think we're looking at a lot of the year in review on some of these dailies, and also, of course, what we will be doing this morning. Sawa sawa, hapo ndio tuko for that. And also, do you want to look at the Nairobian quick and then I go to the story, or how shall we?
Nairobian. So let's just go through the top page. And 30 and Unrushed, how women are redefining marriage timelines myths. That is in pages 22 to 23. And festive season Christmas guest survival guide. So yes, how are you going to survive during this time? It's a conversation we shall be having a little bit later on what you're supposed to do, especially when it comes to what it is you eat. And AFCON 2025 gives Kenyans the perfect learning chance. So yes, we know Kenya will be hosting Africa Cup of Nations. So what will we learn from Morocco? And Jirongo's life, money, power, and women. So he was a ladies' magnet. He loved, loathed, and feared. Cyrus lived without apology. He loved openly, spent freely, and ruled fearlessly. He married 4 women and sired 38 children, vowing to gather them under one roof. His relationships were never secret, but statements, declarations of power, excess, and defiant masculine bravado. That's on the Nairobian.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just saying. Just counting.
Yeah, 38.
Right. 38. Well done. All right. I want to, speaking of babies, the court has lifted the ban on Mary Stopes abortion adverts. Triggered much this morning? Let me read you the story. Lobby told the court the ban had exposed girls and young women to life-threatening options. Justice Muta rules KMPDC and KFCB conferred to themselves powers they did not have. The High Court in Nairobi has lifted the ban issued on Mary Stopes advertisements for safe abortion. Justice Chacha Mwita yesterday also quashed a directive by the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council to the facility to transfer all post-abortion patients to other hospitals. The judge said KMPDC and the Kenya Film Classification Board conferred to themselves powers they did not have. He noted that KFCB's mandate only relates to films and not advertisements, while the council can only supervise doctors, not medical facilities. You see how we can get technical? Yeah. There was no lawful decision since KMPDC has no powers over medical institutions. They only have powers over personnel. The ruling of the inquiry committee of the KMPDC was illegal, null and void. The Kenya Film Classification Board ban advertisements by Mary Stopes was made without authority, and therefore it is unlawful, according to Justice Muta. He also noted that the communication to Mary Stopes was made by a director of a medical position that does not exist in law.
Repeat that again.
He also noted that the communication to Mary Stopes was made by a director of medical, a position that does not exist in law.
Wait.
Again, how technical the law can be.
Yeah.
In the case, the Network for Adolescents and Youth of Africa argued that some women lose their lives due to lack of urgent medical emergency in form of safe abortion and post-abortion care. Women and girls suffer physical harm and sometimes death when they are treated inadequately and unsafely. Denial of legally available health services like safe abortion and post-abortion care can cause lasting physical and emotional suffering and amounts to abuse and mistreatment. So what they're saying is, it's so convoluted, but if you say we are banning, we're not letting people know about the safe abortion options, what you're doing is that you're forcing them to go and use these back institutions, to procure these abortions, right? Back alley abortions is a big deal. So they're saying, you know what, allow people to get the correct information. Now, where the board and where the council are coming from is that we are talking about illegality and you shouldn't be able to do this. But now Chacha Mwita says that's okay. But maybe if somebody else is the one who would have brought this case, then we would have said okay.
Yeah.
The board only has jurisdiction over films and not advertisements. So you cannot come and tell us to put this advertisement down. You, as the council, only have jurisdiction over people and not facilities. So you cannot tell them to pull their advertisement down. Whoever Mary Stopes' lawyer is very, very good at what they do. Yeah. The dispute started on the 11th of September in 2018 when KFCB banned all advertisements on radio by Maristops over allegations that the adverts were promoting abortions. On the 10th the same year, KMPDC issued an order directing the facility to immediately stop offering any form of abortion services in all its 23 branches. So you see what Chacha Muta says, you don't have that authority.
You don't have that authority.
Somebody else should have been the one to do that.
Yeah, because then one would say that what would have come from KMPDC would be a directive to the personnel that then undertake or procure those services, But then again, question now Ndu is, what does that do to the law? Because remember, the law, abortion in Kenya is illegal.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing about the law. That in this case, it was not about the abortion itself, the process. It is about whether you have jurisdiction and authority to proclaim that this particular advertisement is allowed or not.
Yeah.
So you going to say stop performing abortions, you can't do that because you don't have the jurisdiction or the authority. That's the thing. It was not even dealing with the legality or the illegality of the abortion process itself, because that was not even the case. Case said, why should these people tell us stop advertising? It's not even about the subject. It's just like the elections that were declared whatever in 2017.
Yeah.
I remember Smoking Wanjala saying it is not. We didn't say that the winner is not the winner. We said that the process through which this winner became winner has a question mark. So we will stop it and do the process again. The law is very interesting.
Interesting. It's very, very interesting. I think it's about time that as a country, this is one of those conversations that people sat down and honestly had this conversation, because you'd find Kenya has never really sat down to have a deeper conversation, especially around abortion. Because now there is the religious aspect of it, there is the traditional aspect of it, there is the moral question of it, and people have never really sat down to say this is our position as a country. And it's a conversation that I bet people do not want to have.
There is people are having abortions every day.
They are.
And
but are we having
younger? Are we having the conversation as to protect them? We're not.
No.
We're not.
We are not. Yeah. Simefika 7. Simefika 7 imebaki around some 30 seconds.
You're right.
Let me just pass through this real quick, yeah? And Nairobi, Kilifi, Kiambu, and Machakos and Narok counties have been identified as hotspots where doing business with contractors and suppliers is increasingly fraught with payments for goods and services rarely made on time. So with that alone goes to show you the question of pending bills continues to be there, and the counties are actually one of the biggest culprits. So you can end up page 10, you'll get all that information and how you need to stop doing business, including me. Hey. Yes. Hata mimi naumia. Unajua hata mimi ni supplier hapa nje. Nilipigwa character development.
Never to be done again.
Never to be done again. Hey, yeah.
Up on Tuko at 7 o'clock into a conversation. The year that was from a political standpoint. We'll do that when we come back at 7. Now time for the news with Mr. Lisamira. Good morning. 7 a.m.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM. This is the Situation Room. The only way to start your day.
Sour petroleum jelly repairs dry skin like no other. Easy to spread and non-sticky like no other.